What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning into another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourself a great start to your weekend. It's Friday night, almost 10 o'clock here. Just got back from dinner with the family. Had a nice little celebration of everybody's effing birthdays, but it was great getting to see some of the girlfriend's family, and hope you're all having yourselves a great weekend. Appreciate you taking the time. We are live here tonight, but got a quick one for you. This is not Fan Friday. I've got a little something someone made me aware of while I was out at dinner. So appreciate you, my man Kane. I got a nice little notification, time for the salary cap video. And you always know if there's an important piece that the Eagles are looking for and there's somebody that is on that trade block, wants to be traded, we're going to talk about it. So that's what we're here to do tonight. Appreciate you all tuning in. Let me hear your thoughts on this, but we're going to run through this bad boy. Will the Eagles trade for safety Budda Baker? So got this news here. You know, obviously this is a guy that All-Pro, had an off season last year, I feel, but look, still very talented going into his 7th season here, but somebody that I think the Eagles will definitely be interested in. You remember last year, you know, we waited till after the draft to get Gardner-Johnson. So this isn't something necessarily that has to happen right away, but look, man, there are some things we're going to talk about, you know, coming up here in a second. I'm going to show you his contract. We're going to talk about what the Eagles have, safeties, the cap space, the draft picks we have. So all the ammo we have. So I'll answer the question of, can we? Now, will we? That is always to be seen. But we know that, you know, adding Terrell Edmunds, that's great. But we lost both of our starting safeties. So we're looking for upgrades. And whether that be in free agency or in this draft, you know, a guy like Budda Baker, I think would fit perfectly to what Sean Desai is going to do here. So, my Lord, I think for me, you know, they should definitely take their shot at it, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. And I'm going to break this thing down and show you how they definitely can do that, show you the money, show you how we can work things around with the cap space, what we've got, what we're going to have, all that great stuff you want to know. Yo, what is going on? Dragon Knight in the building. Hope you're having a great weekend, my man. Appreciate you tuning in, but that's what we're here for, my man, Marty. We're going to look at this money here. So let's take a gander at this information, give you everything you need to know to strap yourself when someone tells you, well, the Eagles can't. They don't have the cap. Well, he cost $18 million. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. So first off, I want to look at what the Eagles have here. So what do we got in the safety room? What do we got cap space wise? And what do we have for draft picks this season and the future? So let's take a look at it. The safety room here, you see, look, we added Terrell Edmunds, added Justin Evans as well. We've got Marquise Blair, Reed Blankenship, Andre Sacheret, Tristan McCollum, and Kayvon Wallace there. So look, I like the upside of some of these guys. You know, I love Andre Sacheret, somebody that helps you as a special teams ace, provides you safety and nickel corner depth, has that versatility. And, you know, Reed Blankenship really stepped it up last year. Really, you know, excited to see what he can do in his 2nd season. But adding Terrell Edmunds was exciting. Justin Evans, when healthy, can be a great depth piece, step in as a starter if needed. So you've got guys there. But if you're looking to go back to the Super Bowl, you're looking to have another number 1 defense, I think, you know, you could definitely look to upgrade the safety position because you see Marcus Epps, CJ Gardner-Johnson gone, Edmonds and Evans in. So not exactly, you know, pick for pick there, even. So for me, I would look to upgrade, but you don't necessarily have to. There's some guys in the draft I really like, you know, pick 30 we've talked about. So we're going to get into the defense this weekend. So again, do not think that this means don't look in the draft, forget about everything. This is just to show you guys that are interested in this stuff, that love this kind of stuff, just showing you how this stuff works in hopes that you guys understand it. We can get the media to understand it. So people stop saying things like the Eagles don't have cap space, this, that, the other thing. So you see all the people that restructured, re-signed, extended, were signed to the team. All of their cap hits are right here. All the notable ones you need to know are listed. And now you see, if you were to look it up, that's the current cap space, $19,976,938. Yeah, but you're always going to have somebody, well, Jalen Hurts extension. Oh, well, the draft picks. Well, we figure that out. Go to the playlist on my YouTube. Show me the money, and you will see how it is done. But you see the numbers. You know the numbers. I've already shown you. So you save a little bit this year on the cap with Hurts extending himself, if that happens, which I do believe it will soon. But then you've got draft pick cap hits, and that's going to take away, but I don't know where these massive numbers people come up with, but it's only going to be the top 3 picks that actually affect our salary cap, and they're going to be replacing the bottom 3 of the top 51 salary cap that actually affect our salary cap. So for me, it's laughable when people say stuff like that because we're still going to have $18 million after all of that is said and done. So yeah, got the cap space, check. Now let's look at the draft pick ammo. And you see here this year, 6 picks. Yeah, 2 first rounders, 4 of those picks, the top 94. Let's go. And with having 26 picks in the next 3 years, do not think Howie will not be looking to package some of those other ones, maybe moving up, moving back, acquiring more picks this year. We will see what he does. But the man is always moving, as you can see by acquiring 2 picks this year. You've got, 3 picks from other teams next year and all those comp picks. So Howie knows what he's doing, regardless of what people are saying out there. So I think we're going to have another great draft. Cannot wait to see if, we do take someone at 10. Maybe we trade back. Maybe we move forward. There's somebody that falls to 8. We don't want him to go to 9. There's a lot of options here. Well, I've been trying my best to break it down. Went through the offense, went through the defense, or going to go through the defense here with you this weekend. We're going to get it started. So the draft is going to be an exciting time. A lot of options. But when you have a name like this pop up, hey, I get it. And if he's disgruntled and if he wants a new contract, there's things going on, whatever, we can give him a new contract, hopefully move the money around a little bit. We're going to look at that here in a second. Do not worry. But I think, there's a lot of possibilities here. And adding an all-pro player like that, a veteran leader to the defense, is not a bad idea. But again, staying put, not getting him, I'm not going to be upset about it. But I'm just showing you how you can do that. There's always people commenting, and it's like, look, man, I'm just showing you how it's done. I'm not saying it has to happen, but love to hear your thoughts, whether you'd like it to happen, you think we're good, you want to just stick to the draft, add somebody after the draft, see what we have then. Let me hear your thoughts. Maybe I'll change your thoughts after this contract talk, but my man Drew in here. Let's go. Yo, my dude, appreciate you tuning in. And this is obviously not Fan Friday, but I'll be back in a little while with that. But just wanted to go over this stuff real quick, make a 10-minute video with you. Let's effing go. Hey, you'd be happy to know I was actually finally getting to work on those a little bit. And let's go, baby. I appreciate you always using that stuff. But let's take a look at Budda Baker. Let's get to know what's going on with this guy. Wants to be traded. That is the news. Adam Schefter, everybody talking about, okay, so it is the real deal. He wants to go. Now, 5'10", 195, coming into his 7th season, 27 years old, out of Washington. He was a 2nd-round pick back in 17, pick number 36. And look, dude's a baller. Now, again, I said last season, a little bit of a down season. Started all 15 of the games that he did play. 7 passes deflected, 2 interceptions, allowed 75 completion percentage rating, only 1 forced fumble. No stats in the recovery or touchdown department. At 111 tackles, only 1 for a loss, 14 missed tackles. He was sent on a blitz 55 times, but only got 2 quarterback hits and 6 pressures, 0 sacks. So again, stats aren't jumping off the page at you, not necessarily the greatest thing, but I'm telling you, in Sean Desai's defense, how important safeties are, linebackers, their coverage skills. We've been talking about it, and we're going to get in depth with it when we talk about this draft. But I'm telling you, this guy, he would be perfect. So I'm not against it in any way, shape, or form, but it always comes down to the money. So we know the money is what is needed to be seen. So let's take a gander. Budda Baker, 2 years remaining on that contract. And this season, his cap hit is $16,871,359. That's quite a hefty cap hit there. So obviously, we're in the department of making money move, right? So if you have not ever seen this show before, I always bring this graphic here, but it shows the 4 ways, you'll see the dots there, that a team can create money. Well, now that is whether they want to restructure, extend, or you see below those, cut or trade. Now with cut and trade, you see there is a pre-June 1st and post-June 1st that shows the cap saved in dead money. Any money you see in black there, that is the negative. Anything in red there, you will see that is money that they will save. So let's break this bad boy down. So if they trade him now, they're going to save 9.3 mil. Now, if they obviously wait till post-June 1st, they're going to save 4 million more. So no rush here, ladies and gentlemen. And I mentioned that earlier in the video. So you want to wait after the draft, see what you do. Maybe that's a smarter decision anyway, but it's going to help them out in the long run. And look, maybe they make, they talk about it before the draft. Maybe, you make something happen during the draft, give up, one of the picks. They like somebody. So you keep in contact with them. But one of the things that's going to have to happen then when you trade for them is, look, we had 18 million left, but we're not going to go spend all of that except for 1.1 plus mil. That would be what we were left if you just were to simply trade for him. Now, what we would want to do is give him a new deal. So whether or not you want to restructure those next 2 years and clear up 6 mil, which would leave him at a $10 million cap hit, which he's a damn good safety. So, well, okay, you're still left with 8 mil. You can do a lot with that. And, you can go through the season having, flexibility with that money. And obviously, you can have that money roll over the next year, what you don't spend. So we'd still be okay there. But if you extend him, give him, a contract to ensure he retires here, where CJ Gardner-Johnson, we were hoping, obviously, a little bit younger and somebody we thought could stick around. I think this is another guy perfect if you could get him to finish his career here. Give him, an extension of some sort, add a few years on there, and of course, add those dummy years so you can prorate, spread out those cap hits. You would save $9.6 million. That's the money saved. So if you're subtracting from that number right above it there, obviously that's leaving you with 7.2. And obviously that cap hit's not going to bother you because then you have just about $11 million in cap space still. So looking at that, that Howie Roseman, he's obviously way ahead of the game. I'm sure he's already done this stuff before I had the opportunity. So he's looking at this and he knows what he can do. He has to decide whether or not, that's the move he wants to make, what kind of contract this dude wants for the future. Maybe you just want to restructure it, keep him for the next couple years, whatever it is. I think, very talented still, whether or not he had an off season in that crap defense. I think that, take it all with a grain of salt, those stats and everything like that. I think Budda Baker is still a phenomenal player, only 27 years old, and he would be the replacement for CJ Gardner-Johnson, So yeah, go ahead, Howie, work that effing magic. Now, the question to me, is what would it cost for someone like him? What would you have to give up? And, I think still really, really talented, but you're going to have to take on that price tag. And I think this would come into play if you were doing it pre or post June 1st, because for them, they're saving $4 million more if they wait. So if you're trying to do it during the draft, you're obviously, losing out on $4 million. So maybe you tell them like, look, we're still taking on more money here. We're taking a big chunk of this dead money for him. We need you to give us a higher draft pick. So I think as talented as he is, it's still, it's up in the air for me. I think with taking on that money, I really think maybe a third would get it done. And that would be awesome. I think, using that pick 94, maybe, if you don't get Brian Branch, I mean, we talked about Antonio Johnson. If he falls a little bit in there, maybe if he's at the third or the 94th, see who's available, see what you can do, what you've already done, and then maybe make the decision. But I'm not really sure what kind of asking price they would have, and a lot of times people say really high picks, and these guys don't go for as much. It really, what you got to look at is that contract. When they have like a lot of money that they have to take on and stuff, that's where things differ. So when you look at this money here, you're looking at 7.5, a little bit over $7.5 million there. So I think obviously 3.7 in dead money is obviously a lot less, about 4 million almost. So, I mean, that all goes into it, and you got to realize Howie knows that, these guys know that. And for me, it would be worth it if it were a third for sure. A second, that would be a little, I don't know, man. I think he's 27. He's still got a lot left in the tank, but I think, you could probably try to do like a fourth even. I didn't want to say that. I don't want to like jinx that happening. And I don't want to just say that could happen. But looking at that money, looking at that kind of stuff, I think that maybe you could, convince them a fourth. And look, we're still taking on money. We got to work out contract stuff with him. He wants to leave, So they could look to cut him, obviously post June 1st. They could do a lot of different things, but I think you would want to get something in return for him, obviously an all-pro player like Budda Baker. So let's go get him. If you need to give up a third, why not? Let's do it. But we obviously don't have a fourth this year, but if you look at those things I just showed you with all the future picks, we'll be good there. So, hey, just wanted to show you that, but I'll be back in a little bit, guys. I just got home from dinner. I will have Fan Friday here, but yeah, just wanted to give you guys that information. Appreciate all of you over here in the chat. Is this response to my message earlier? Did not know you messaged me earlier, man. What did you message me on? I did get tagged by Kane, so I did give a shout out to him. Thank you. I was out to dinner and I said, hey, I'll make it when I get home, but appreciate you, my man. I'll have to check my messages and I'll just check all of them, find out where you messaged me. Says, no, man, I will be back in a little bit with that. What you say, Vivid? What are you saying there, man? I sent him a message earlier saying get Howie on the phone and tell him to get Budda. Oh, yeah, man. Look, I will definitely check into all the messages. If anybody sent me anything, it has been, especially with the birthday, man, it's been chaotic. I've been trying to get back to everybody. But I love you all. I appreciate you all. And I will see you in a little bit for Fan Friday. Bring all your questions. You want to talk about Budda Baker, whatever the hell it may be. But yeah, Howie, get on that damn phone. Go make it happen. I would be quite ecstatic if we go get Budda Baker. Make it happen, Howie. Make it happen. But I hope to see y'all in a little bit. Hope you're having yourselves a great Friday night. But until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. Stay safe out there. And as always, say it with me now. Go Birds!